Hello. In this video we will go into some of the reasons why your site is on the first page of Google or hiding away on page 5 or further below. We will also discuss whether your site is set up in such a way that it is in fact 2 sites rather than 1. In one of the other videos I mentioned that Google is all about relevancy when deciding where a site appears in the search engine results. Another factor it takes into account is the popularity of the site. Are people talking about it or referring to it? The way that Google ascertains this is by looking at the backlinks or footprints that the site has left on the internet. A backlink is where another site mentions your site, and by clicking on the words, people are taken to your site. You may be in directories, or you may have a social media campaign, or appear in some trade journal. So you may think that the more backlinks that you have, then the higher you will be in the results. But this is not always the case. It is the quality and the position of those backlinks that determines whether or not you are a good site in the eyes of Google. For example, if a dentist has a backlink from a university or a professional body, then that is a far better recommendation than a backlink from, say, a plumber's merchants or a taxi firm. So you should always want to make sure that your footprints on the internet lead to the right places. This has given rise to 4 new metrics, namely trust flow, citations, page authority, and domain authority. A backlink from a reputable site is going to count more than a backlink from a less reputable or irrelevant site. Each of these backlinks sends a vote to your site, but are they sending it to your site or www your site? There are in fact 8 different ways of expressing the address of your website. Some include the www and some don't. Google sees the www as a separate site from your domain.com. This means that the votes, instead of going to 1 candidate, are being watered down and going to 2. And that is obviously not a good idea. You want all of the recommendations or votes or backlinks pointing to just 1 site, so that all of the votes are counted across all 8 of the possible ways of writing the address of your site. Below you will find the 2 links where you can check to see how well your site is doing in the eyes of the world, and find out whether you have 1 site or 2. Here we are on the Majestic site, and all you have to do is put the name of the site you want to search in and press search, and here we see that using the www, it's shown as a subdomain and has a trust flow of 26 and citation flow of 20. If we go to the root domain, which is without the www, you can see a totally different set of results. This means that the site is being seen as two separate sites. Going down the page, you get more information, including details of the anchor text, namely the words that are clicked upon to get sent to the site. This particular site has a very even spread of anchor text. But you can see that it is 17 and 7, whereas the www site is 26 and 20. Which do you think is better? And just imagine how much better the scores would be if it was one site instead of two. We're now on Moz Open Site Explorer, and we do exactly the same. The results come up and we can see that it's a 16 and 26 for the www site. But when we take out the www and search again, we see it's 16 and 23. So even with different metrics, it is still being seen as two separate sites. Things were obviously a lot easier when Google dealt with PageRank, where they gave a score of 0 to 9, and if you had a PageRank of, say, 3 or 4, you were doing really well. Now, however, there are different metrics that have to be taken into account, all based upon backlinks and the relevance and trust attached to those backlinks. You have learned how to find out what the world thinks of your site by looking at the trust flow and citations, the page authority, and the domain authority. Ideally, for all 4 metrics, you should be looking for a score of 20 and 20 on each. And a score of less than 10 means that your site is not doing very well at all. There are obviously things that can be done to improve these metrics, but that's a subject for another video. Thanks for watching.